You're listening to Brainwork Framework, a business and marketing podcast, brought to you by focus-biz.com.
Business owners, entrepreneurs, and athletes alike, if you're looking to take your hydration game to the next level, we have a special treat for you. With us today is the founder and CEO of the Evolved Co. Krish Sidhu is here to share his new product that's revolutionary and is going to be disrupting a few industries here. Krish, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you?
My pleasure. Great to be here.
Absolutely. So tell us more about your entrepreneurial journey, everything you've done in business leading up to what you're doing today.
It's been quite an interesting road. Been in the game for quite a while, 20 years in land development and construction, single family high-end homes. I've been in the cannabis space, still in the cannabis space for about 12, 13 years. Some different projects in film and apps and IT and AI. And now, as of the last few years, the Evolved Co is kind of my big baby and my big global project that we're pushing on here. I think it's going to be an incredible venture that we're pushing on super strong. And I'm very excited about it.
That's wonderful. It seems like you've been in many different business industries before. You just find the perfect timing to get in on certain developments as they're almost coming into popularity. How do you stay on top of all these new trends and capitalize on that from a business perspective?
I think it's a weird dynamic. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So I'm always hustling and pushing hard and working and staying focused. And I really enjoy the kind of the difficult side of things and getting in the trenches. So I think that kind of goes hand in hand. And listen, the markets move this way and that way, and you get some good trends that hit. And if you're just right in the mix, sometimes you get even a little more lucky. But I think the hard work pays off at the end of it.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. So tell us more about this new product that you're looking to share is centered around the Evolved Co.
Thank you. So the Evolved Co is a health and wellness lifestyle brand, and we're launching very cool and innovative products to the market. And we back everything with the frequency technology that nobody has on the planet right now. So it's very, very cool stuff. My partner, Joseph, he spent about 10 years and $12.5 million developing the technology. And now we're bringing it to market in a bunch of different products. So our first product to market is our water line. And we wanted to do that because hydration is such a huge thing. Global market trends are going up, bottled water is going up, all that kind of stuff. So from a business perspective and market perspective, it made sense, but also for the benefits that we can provide to the consumer is huge. So basically what we do is we apply the technology to the bottle of water, and we do it in like a form of a sticker. Here's the bottle here. So I don't know if you can see, there's a sticker underneath the label there that has our frequency technology on it. And what it does is it energizes the water and improves the thermodynamics of the water. So when you drink it, you actually absorb more of the water, and all the minerals and electrolytes become more bioavailable. So you've got clinically proven better hydration.
Wow, that's very exciting to have technology be integrated into something that everybody needs, hydration. They need water. And to make something better, it's like a reinvent the wheel. We want to make water better. Now, what flavors are available for this new hydration technology that you've implemented?
Right now, we have just the regular water, so unflavored water that's out in market now. And hopefully by the end of the year, we're going to have our 3 flavors out. We're going to come out with like a mango and a cucumber mint and a strawberry kiwi, I believe.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah.
The OG water, I think, is a little underappreciated. You can't go wrong with just your natural, great flavored water. I think that's the best hydration that's available to everyone. Now, for those who are interested in getting this water, is it available on the website? You said it's in some retailers or online?
It's mostly available online now. We have it available on Amazon, and we're launching our Shopify and onboarding with a few other different platforms. And then we're also at the same time pushing into working with some of the big box stores and the retailers to get in on the shelves as well.
Oh, exciting. That's wonderful. Now, with the frequency technology that you mentioned, can you go into more detail about the sciencey stuff behind it? Because I know people are very in tune with, frequency, atoms, how they interact with each other, sound waves, light waves, they all kind of come together. What is the secret sauce with this frequency technology that's going on there?
I always like the very simple version because that makes sense for me. So the simple version is this: the air right now is energetically charged, and that comes from the millions of lightning strikes a second around the globe. Right now, the air has a charge to it. That's our power source. That energetic charge in the air hits our technology. excites the technology, and then we can output to whatever we want to program it to. So that's basically means that when we put the sticker on the bottle of water, it'll keep energizing the water for the shelf life of the water. So anytime you drink out of that bottle now, as soon as you crack it, whether it's 1 week later or 3 months later, that water's at its best energetic state. So that's the science behind it and the flexibility we have. I try not to get too excited about it, but it's very exciting. The flexibility we have is very cool. So we can apply it to the water, but we can also put it in wearables so we can enhance performance, enhance recovery, enhance calmness. We can come up with a skincare line that we're looking to come out with soon. We can put anti-inflammatory frequencies and anxiety frequencies. So the adaptability, just the programmability of the technology what makes it so unique. You can Google and see there's a lot of frequency, this, that, and whatever out there. Very few or none of them have any actual clinical trials and science based behind them and are very frequency based. We're very frequency agnostic. So we can actually program to the outcome that we want.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, I know, as you just mentioned, there's a lot of less scientific frequency-based items that are out there. What gave you this push to want to be more scientific and factual with the clinical trials? And what makes it different than the other frequency items that are out there?
Well, the efficacy that we have through our hydration study is almost 90% of the athletes, not only did they not dehydrate, but they rehydrated much quicker. So they were more hydrated at the end of their 90-minute workout than when they started, which is absolutely unheard of. So it really shows that the absorption rate and everything that they were doing really works with the frequency tech on it. From a human performance level, when you're fully hydrated as you're performing, you stay at peak performance. That means that your injury prevention stays very high and that your recovery on the back end is a lot quicker because you haven't depleted your body. So that's the science behind the hydration study in a nutshell. Also, the p-value on it is a 0.05, which means that it's statistically significant. What that also means is that if you take 100 people or 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people, the percentages of the test will remain the same. So that's when you're coming to market with a product that you want to really push hard and you want to get out to a ton of people, you have to have the efficacy behind you. You have to have the science behind you, because otherwise it's a lot of marketing, which I'm sorry to say most companies and most beverages and water brands are. It's a lot of marketing and a lot of pretty words and things that maybe make sense at the time, but have no real efficacy to it.
Right. And that has to be a huge obstacle and challenge for you, your team, bringing this product to market when you have imposters that are out there trying to claim benefits that don't actually exist, or again, it's more based around the marketing behind it. But it's so important to get that factual database science behind your product, so that way you can actually demonstrate the value to those who want to use it. Now, for those who are current water drinkers now and those who may be interested in taking your product, is there a thing as too little, too much when it comes to your product? Should they replace their own water with this new water that you have? Or is it one a day will do what you need to have the results?
Every body is different. So I can't say in general or specifically for you, okay, you need to do this. But in general, if you drink our water, you're clinically getting more hydrated. So even if you're drinking, for example, 6 bottles or 6 water glasses a day or 8 glasses a day, whatever the recommendation is for your body type, you're not actually absorbing all of that water. So a lot of it, you're just peeing it out, or you're not getting all the minerals, electrolytes getting into your body. With our water, you are. So I wouldn't say drink less, but I'm saying the amount that you drink, you're actually getting the best benefit from it. So for sure, replace your water with our water. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who are athletes and want to incorporate this into their lifestyle and their workout routine, do you think this is best as a pre-workout sort of drink? Is this a post-workout? I assume any time is a good time to be hydrated, right?
Correct. If you're pre, hitting it during, hitting it post, if you're staying at peak hydration, and I've had like a lot of real world feedback from a lot of our guys. We have an Ironman athlete. I've mentioned him in a few other podcasts who almost shaved like an hour off his race when he was drinking our water. I've had guys in the gym who are like, Krish, I was feeling pretty tired and I usually do my squats at 285 and I need about a minute and a minute and a half to recover. He's like, I felt so good. I was doing like 30-second recovery times and then I upped my weights to like 300 and I was just killing it. I was drinking your water the whole time and I felt great. Another buddy said he has a ex-NFL trainer. And he's like, bro, I'm killing my workouts. He's like, everybody in the gym's watching me and I'm murdering everything. I'm drinking my water. And even my trainer's like, what are you doing? This is amazing. So we have some really cool feedback from people in the field and people actually working out that can feel the hydration really working for them. And in that real world sense, we get that feedback and it really pumps us up because I'm helping people. I'm helping them perform better. I'm helping them feel better. Even when you drink our water, it's got like a smoother like taste to it. People say it's like almost thicker or it's like I can feel it on their tongue more. And that's literally because the thermodynamic is so cool.
Wow, that is so interesting. I love the real world perspectives that you have. It's helping people perform better. These athletes are recovering faster and able to put up more. Now, how long do you think it's going to take until you replace the Gatorade in NFL stadiums here? Because it sounds like this is a must-have supplement, a drink that these athletes are going to want.
That's a great question. We'd love to be everywhere, killing everybody. So that's our plan is the global domination play. But I think what we're doing is actually creating a new beverage category and a true performance beverage category. So a lot of other beverages say we're a performance beverage, but that's again, all the marketing stuff that they do. We're truly a performance beverage because the actual liquid itself is performing better because of the improved thermodynamics. And then when you drink it, you perform better. So we're creating, we're not going to be really in competition with them, but when people can see what this product can do for them, they're going to automatically just energetically move toward our product. So it's going to be an interesting ride.
That's very cool. Now, even though this is made more for performance, it has a lot of medicinal benefits. And I don't know if we can specifically say that, but do you see this being a use in any medical clinics for rehydration where they currently use certain chemicals to enhance hydration here? Do you find this could be a benefit to a lot of those who are either ill or sickly?
From a medical perspective, we can't make any claims and we can't just say, okay, this will replace all your stuff you're doing at your doctor, right? But what I can say from a general perspective is that chronic dehydration is an epidemic. Most people are chronically dehydrated because, as I mentioned before, the amount of water you drink, you're not absorbing it. So what that does is it creates a low-lying level of stress in your body, and that stress triggers other illnesses in your body in general, neurological issues, etc. So I think that from a general perspective, if you are more hydrated, you are more healthy. And the more hydrated you can be, the healthier you will be, and more strong your body will be to fight off or prevent other illnesses. That's just, like I said, the dumb guy science of how that works. And so I wouldn't say replace anything or make any medical claims, but if you drink our water from our clinical trials, I can say you will be more hydrated. And when you're more hydrated, you're healthier.
That sounds wonderful. Now, how long would it take to get a box of your delicious water over to Wisconsin, let's say USA?
Well, it's a quick order on Amazon, but I'm sure I can say I can shoot your box over for you. I'll send you some right over here.
Oh, that's very kind. What is the
Yeah.
average shipment time for those who are interested in purchasing? Do you have warehouses located throughout the globe available, or is there an average shipping time people can expect once they place an order to arrive to their doorstep?
Right now, we're just available on Amazon in North America. That's been our launch over this last little bit. So I think whether you have Amazon Prime or you got a regular within that, like either overnight or the 3 to 5 days, whatever that worked out to be.
Very nice. Now, this below 33 frequency, I do love the nerdy technology, sciencey stuff behind it, but I do appreciate the layman's term for most everybody else. Could you go into more about how it works on that thermodynamic perspective, kind of that sciencey stuff? And then where exactly is that advanced hydration taking place? Is that through our stomach? Is that the intestines? Do you know how that kind of comes together?
Yes, we work on it basically from a cellular level. I'll explain the frequency stuff first. So it's almost like a RFID or an antenna type. If that's what you can imagine. We have one energy source hitting our tech, excites it. We have that tech now outputting to different frequencies. And when the liquid or any kind of matter is hit with a certain amount of frequency designed to get a result, it will then give you that result. So we know from a lot of the other scientific studies and things, what the best energetic state for that water is to make it more soluble. So what we're doing is at a nano level, minerals and electrolytes will crystallize because when they're taken from source, for example, a spring water, I'm jumping around a little bit, but you'll get where I'm coming from. So for example, like a fresh spring water source, fresh spring mineralized water, if you drink it right from the spring, that's probably the best, cleanest, most bioavailable water you can get because it's at its best energetic state. Once you grab all that water and transport it, within about 4 to 5 hours, it starts losing that energetic state. And what happens is at a nano level, minerals and electrolytes will crystallize. That means from a cellular level, those crystals can't penetrate the cell membrane. And that's where hydration comes in. So basically what we're doing is we're keeping the thermodynamics and the energetic state of that water very high, the most soluble state. So we prevent that crystallization process from happening so that when you drink the water, you absorb the water through your cell membrane, and then the minerals and electrolytes can get absorbed into your cells. That helps for the cellular health and also for your cells to excrete all the waste that they need to do. So that cellular life cycle and the health of the cell itself stays at premium.
That is fantastic. That is exactly the sciencey, nerdy explanation that I was hoping for, taking those cell membranes, the nanoparticles, putting it all together. That is wonderful. Now, it's not just for athletes, considering business owners, entrepreneurs that want to take their hydration to the next level. I hear a lot of people talking about their personal relationships and intimacy and how physical activity can help improve that. And I assume maybe hydration can play a role in that too.
Absolutely. I mean, from a normal level of performing and thinking, and from a sexual standpoint as well. From the business side, if you're hydrated, your brain's working properly, you're sharper, you can think quicker, you can solve more problems, you can do all this crazy stuff, right? From a sexual health standpoint, if you have more blood flow, things work properly. So we have a little saying, it's a little funny kind of in office. We might do some cool marketing things with it, but it's like get hydrated, stay lubricated, for the women, that's just how your body works. And then for men, obviously for the blood, if your blood plasma volume was up, your blood flow is up, obviously for sexual functions and stuff, it'll help quite a bit. So absolutely. In every aspect of life, hydration is one of your foundations that you really need to work on. And you can talk about business, relationships, exercise, sleep, everything you want to talk about. If you're hydrated, you will perform it.
Wow, I can't tell you how many times I've just chugged glasses of water and never really felt satisfied. I still feel parched at the end of drinking that. And I'm like, I don't feel like my body's really absorbing everything. And I know that can affect the relationships, the intimacy, physical activity, but also your personal well being, like your skincare. I can't tell you how many times where it just seems like how much I try to moisturize or hydrate, the skin is just not completely moisturized. And this could definitely be playing a part into that.
For sure it is. Your skin is the biggest organ on your body, obviously. It's a great measurement point or something you can monitor to know how the general health of your body is doing. So if you are truly hydrated, that works from the inside out and your skin will really show that. So absolutely the hydration part is a big one for that.
Nice. Now, for those who are interested in learning more about the technology and where they can find you and connect with you and the business as a whole, where is the best place to go? Is this going to be websites or socials?
Socials and then websites, obviously we have everything. So for me personally is Krish Sidhu 23 on Instagram and all my handles. And when you go there, you'll have all the companies there, the Evolved Co, Perform H2O, one of the charities I'm involved with, some other of my other companies. But then you go to the website, performh2o.com. And if you scroll down a little bit, if you want to get into the science of it, you'll see the powered by below 33, click to learn more. And that'll take you to the full science website and it'll explain everything.
Oh, I love that. And for those who are interested, we'll have the links available down in the show notes in the description below. So you can have quick access to all of the social links and the websites that Chris shared with us today. Now, you mentioned that North America is kind of your foundation, the launching of this product here. How will you know when it's successful here in North America? And when do you want to take that into another continent, into other countries across the globe?
Great question. So we're looking at pushing super hard in the US rollout right now, and then we'll bump into Canada and probably Mexico right after that. But here's why we designed the business and the manufacturing the way we did. I don't have to ship my water anywhere globally. I can bottle it source because we just take a source water, reverse osmosis, you purify it, remineralize it, put our sticker on. We now have the best water on the planet. So we're very agnostic to wherever we need to do our manufacturing. That means we can expand globally very quickly without having to ship water all over the planet. So I'm in talks right now with a couple of different global partners that want to love the brand and love what we're doing, even though we've just launched recently. They really like the traction that we're getting and the digitals and socials and all that kind of stuff. So we're ready to rock and roll anytime.
Wow, very exciting. Now, how many years do you think it's going to take until not only one, you appear on Shark Tank, but two, you actually become a shark yourself and now you're reinvesting into these other entrepreneurs?
I love that question. So it's funny. I had a conversation about a month ago of like, Krish, you should totally be on Shark Tank with this. And I was like, I've been holding off, honestly. I'm like, oh, I don't know, but I'd love to get on there. So that might be a play that we do. I think it's a really good product play and something that they could help with. And listen, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I love that dynamic. And maybe a couple of years, 2 to 3, I'd push super hard and then maybe see me sitting on a chair up there.
That is fantastic. I always ask because it's always the certain entrepreneurs that really have everything together. They know what they're doing. They've been a serial entrepreneur where they've invested in multiple companies in the past and have helped start, grow, and scale those businesses. So to have that sort of mindset, that creativity to you, not everybody has it. So I want to make sure that you had the idea already to go on Shark Tank to go
Yes.
ahead and push it out there.
And
Very
so
exciting.
they'll be the sharks, but I'll come in and I'll be the octopus. So I can put my tentacles over.
Who would win? Who would win, a shark or an octopus in a real life
That's a
ocean
great
fight?
question. I think it depends on the size thing. I mean, the sharks are pretty wicked, but listen, the octopus is one of my favorite animals on the planet. So that's obviously why it's our logo and it's the most evolved creature on the planet and stuff. So I think if the octopus is big enough, it could grab them and play around with them a little bit.
Yeah, you yourself are almost an octopus. You have your tentacles in all these different industries and businesses that you've got going on, and extremely evolved creatures, the evolved co. I mean, I feel like that played a role into it. And they're probably one of the smartest creatures that we're finding out more behind the
100%.
science and history and evolution. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're great.
Exciting. Now, for those who are actually trying to follow in your footsteps to achieve the level of success that you've achieved, is there any podcast or video or mentor, any resource available online that you would recommend to others saying, hey, this really gave me the jumpstart that I needed and you can recommend to other entrepreneurs?
I jump around a lot to a bunch of different people. I got invited to a friend of mine, Roger, invited me to the Aspire event recently, where Dan Fleischman and the whole crew, and they had a ton of great speakers there. Magic Johnson spoke, Lewis Howes spoke, a number of different guys. So I think for each person is very individual, and there's so much content out there. I mean, and whether you're doing specific business or specific industry, there's so much stuff out there and a lot of great, successful people. And I think that a lot of people are saying the same things, but it's like, how are they saying them? And I did that too. I did a panel once and I'm not inventing the wheel. I just said a couple of cool things and a couple different quotes in my delivery. And I had so many people come up to me and be like, oh my God, that really hit home with me. I'm like, I didn't say anything special really. I just was just like kind of shooting stuff out, but I think it's the way it gets delivered. So I don't have anything specific, but I would say just jump around. There's a ton of stuff on TikTok and IG and find those pages that really resonate with you and whatever inspires you, follow that and keep pushing on that.
Wonderful. Now, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What are the goals here? Because I think this might transcend even what you're doing at the Evolved Co. Are you currently invested or a part of other businesses or on a board of directors anywhere?
So I'm very blessed to be on the board of directors for the Holly Rod Foundation. It's a charity. My very dear friends, they're like family for me. Holly Robinson, Pete, Rodney, Pete. They've had this foundation for 25 years. It's for awareness for and support for autism and Parkinson's, people and families surrounding that. So that's just one of my passions that I've had through my martial arts career, teaching career, a lot of autistic kids that I used to mentor and teach and train and some illness throughout the family, extended family. So that one really hit home for me. And so on the philanthropic side, that's one of the things. And then I got a bunch of other deals that I'm working on that, I can just lend my expertise to. or I can leverage some other relationships into that. I have the team over there kind of running the show because Evolved is 99% of my time is spent here. But there's a bunch of other things that I'm doing, some film things and some cool AI projects. So yeah, I got, like you said, the octopus fingers. It keeps me inspired. Lots of stress, but it's positive stress. I'm kind of creating my own hell, if you want to put it that way, but it's a good place to be.
That is fantastic. Now, are there any tips or tricks that you want to share with other entrepreneurs or business owners? Something that may be missing or they're completely missing the mark on that has helped you to be successful?
I think perspective is one of the main ones for me. We all go through difficult times in life, and actually most of life is very difficult. And if you can get perspective of where we're sitting now, you and I both, we have roof over our head. We have nice stuff around of us. We can drink and eat and do whatever we want to do with that. Then a lot of people on the planet don't even have that. So if you just take a step back, you're like, okay, the deal didn't close, or my girlfriend yelled at me, or my kids are doing that. This is like, take a couple breaths and like life is still good, and just handle the problem. So I think perspective is really, really a great key to have. And when you have that, you learn to appreciate and actually be happy in the difficult times of life. If you learn to be happy in those times, you're kind of winning all the time, which is, I think, I've developed over the years. Nobody really taught me that. I think I was just getting punched in the face all the time from life and everything. And then you just learn, like, okay, why don't I start enjoying this part? And I'm like, okay, this is great now. So yeah,
Well, it's an interesting to have on perspective as a whole that if you're just getting beat up all the time, just learn to love it and enjoy
yeah,
it. And it's
absolutely.
kind of like that South Park episode where Randy is like, I didn't hear no bell yet. He just keeps getting beat up. And it's like, yeah, yeah, just learn to love it.
Exactly. That's right.
That's fantastic. So you mentioned the technology now being able to be used within wearables like streetwear and athletic clothing. Is it going to be focused on the upper torso? Is this bottom torso? Could it work with a pair of socks or a pair of shoes? Do you find one clothing item is going to be more beneficial or just have a larger market share available to you?
So the cool thing is we can do all of the above. Our body is basically the dumb guy version. It's a bag of meat and water and electrical signal. That's what's happening with this body, right? A little more technical than that, but that's the version of it. You have electrical signals flowing all over the body. We know where the meridians and the flow points of all that are. So we can put the tech on wearables in certain spots that will enhance certain things more. That just means we can put it in your shirt, we can put it in your pants, we can put it in your socks, we can put it in your shoes, and place them strategically and program them for different outcomes. So like I said, if you want to put the wearables on to enhance your performance, you put that frequency performing patch or tech or disc on there, and you put your shirt on where it's here and here and here and here, and that'll enhance your performance. When you're done that, you switch out of your performance gear, you put your recovery gear on, completely different electrical signals, completely different energetic state. That'll help enhance your recovery. So the long answer is, we can talk about this all day long, but the short answer is yes, we can do all the above, and it's going to kill it.
That's exciting. Now, I know when it comes to the history of medicine and the history of holistic medicine and where those two intersect and collide with each other, we have to recognize and appreciate the world around us and the frequencies that are involved, the light, the sound, the vibrations that make us up. And there has to be some truth behind it. There has to be something involved that is resonating, just in the same way we craft messages to communicate with an audience. Resonation, I mean, that plays a role in the world around us and how our body adapts to it and reacts. So it makes sense that the wearables would have different frequencies here. How long do you think it'll take until the world as a whole kind of wakes up to a different approach to medicine or just workouts and this new technology?
I think we're on our way there. There's like a lot of people I've talked to, even over this last year, when I mentioned frequency tech, like, oh, I get it. Like, they're already in it. They're like, I was researching this, and I'm like, okay, great. I don't have to have like a whole conversation. Just drink my water and you'll love it. They're like, yes, perfect. So I think the global trend of health and wellness it's always been there, but it's being pushed a little more now. People are very anti-drug, anti-pharmacy, anti like medicine because they realize that it's a good business to keep everybody sick. And the guys at the top make a lot of money. So from a holistic standpoint, from a very more natural standpoint, I think globally people are more aware now. Us having access to all the knowledge in the world on our phones helps a lot too. And just in general, people are more educated. So I think that we're on our way there. I'm happy to be a part of that dynamic for everybody and help along with the discussion.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You don't have to go through the entire, are they problem aware? Are they solution aware? This is, hey, I'm presenting you, here's the solution. You already know how this works. So here, just go ahead and start benefiting from it, which is very exciting for you in your situation here. What is one piece of advice that you would share with your younger self? If you could go back and say, hey, this is what you need to focus on. Perspective was great. Do you have another amazing tidbit you can share with us?
I think if I could have learned to appreciate the harder times earlier, it would have allowed me to be more open to more opportunities, maybe. I've always stayed fairly open, but sometimes you get like a little gun shy or stuff happens to you like, okay, I'm never doing that again. But the never doing that again, you lose opportunity, or maybe you lose a relationship or lose something. So I think that staying positive in the perceived negative scenarios is some good advice I'd give myself.
Absolutely. Bad things are going to happen to us all the time. And we can't change how those things happen, but we can change how we react to them. And that can definitely change the course of our mindset and perspective going forward. Now, Krish, we only have so much time left available. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience or entrepreneurs and business owners out there?
Listen, do what you love, be happy, stay hydrated.
So that's perfect. It's like the
Yeah,
eat, pray,
that's it.
love, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just, life's too short. You got to do stuff that makes you feel good. And listen, if you're growing up, you're an adult, go do whatever you like in life, whatever makes you happy. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, go do what makes you happy. And when you're happy, you become an asset to people around of you. And so I think the world will just be a better place if we look inside first. Like that's what we're doing with our water. Get you hydrated inside first, then you start performing better. You're going to be a better person, better help to yourself, better help for your loved ones, better help to society. It kind of goes out in those circles.
That's fantastic. Krish, we appreciate the time and you sharing this new technology and product innovation with us today. For those of you who are interested, make sure you check out the links below. Krish is an awesome guy. He's super cool. Make sure you get connected, see all the exciting developments that are coming down the pipeline here. We appreciate it, Krish. Thank you so much for your time.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.